Let's be real. We're all looking for it, right? Love. That deep, meaningful connection we're told will make everything make sense. It feels like this epic quest we're all on. But what if we've been using the wrong map this whole time?
I mean, you know the song? We've all grown up with this idea that all we need is love. And it's a beautiful sentiment, for sure. But the thing is, it sets love up as something that's out there, something you have to go out and find, like a prize you win at the end of the game.
So here's where we're going today. We're going to explore a pretty radical shift in thinking, one that's inspired by a whole collection of poems and songs. What if we stop the frantic search? What if we consider this other idea that love isn't something to be found, because it's what we already are?
Okay, so first up, let's talk about the promise, the big one. It's that ideal vision of connection that we see in movies and hear in songs pretty much our entire lives. Yeah, that feeling? This line just nails it. It's the promise of a bond so deep it feels like it's forever. It's the core of every fairy tale, right? The idea that if you can just find that feeling, that person, boom, everything else in your life will just click into place. The whole happily ever after package. But the reality? Well, that's a whole other story, isn't it? For so many of us, the actual chase for that perfect love, it just doesn't feel that great. In fact, it can feel kind of empty. We get caught up in this hustle. Society tells us chase your dreams, whether that's the dream job, the dream house, or the dream partner. But it often feels like we're chasing a ghost, something that's always just a little bit further down the road, always just out of reach. And what happens when you actually get it? You land the promotion, you get the partner, you win. But that high, that feeling of victory, it just doesn't last, does it? It fades. And you're left there thinking, was that it? So you can see how this leads to feeling completely stuck. You're trapped in this loop of chasing, getting, feeling empty, and then starting the chase all over again. It's a cycle that's so hard to break, a life that might look good from the outside but just doesn't feel right on the inside. You know, that quiet dissatisfaction, that feeling of, is this all there is? It doesn't stay quiet forever. Sooner or later, it starts to get loud, really loud. And it turns into this raw, desperate demand for something, anything, real. Wow. I mean, it doesn't get more direct than that, does it? This is just a total rejection of the superficial. It's saying, I'm done. Done with the fake smiles, the presents you have to give, the I love yous that are just a habit. It's a cry for pure, unfiltered authenticity. Okay, so you demand real. But what happens when you get it? When something that feels truly, intensely real finally walks into your life? Well, be careful what you wish for, because real isn't always gentle and sweet. Sometimes it's a storm. And look at this contrast. It's just incredible. On one hand, we have the ideal, that calm, deep, soulful connection we all dream about. But on the other hand, the reality described in the source material? Whoa, an attraction so intense it feels like a panic attack. An electric pull, that's something else entirely. And that leads to this huge paradox, right? You get exactly what you were craving, this intense, powerful connection, but it's so overwhelming it feels like you're suffocating. It's that classic push-pull, that come here, no, go away feeling that can be so confusing. So where does that leave us? This is the big question. If chasing love leads to feeling empty, and actually finding an intense love feels like chaos, are we just stuck? Well, no. This is the point where the whole story takes a really interesting turn. We shift from doing to just being. So the sources we're looking at propose a totally different path. It's a path that has nothing to do with trying harder or chasing faster or doing more. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's about letting go. Now, when you hear the word surrender, you probably think of giving up, right? Waving the white flag, losing the battle. But that is not what this means at all. Think of it more like stopping the fight. Putting down your weapons. It's about appreciating this moment, right here, without trying to get anything out of it. And get this is fascinating. The word Islam itself actually translates to surrender, or submission to the will of God. So this idea, this concept, isn't some new age fad. It's ancient. It's deeply woven into the fabric of human spirituality all over the world. Okay, so this is all great philosophy, but what does it actually look like in your daily life?
What really changes if you stop searching for love as something outside of you and start living from this place of already being love? Well, it pretty much changes everything. Your relationships, they're no longer about finding someone to complete you. Instead, you're sharing a wholeness you already feel. Work and money, that constant pressure to chase the next big thing, it just eases up. The need for stuff, for those fake gifts to prove your worth, just kind of fades away. And maybe the biggest thing of all, your need to be free and your need to be connected, they stop being enemies. They can actually exist together. Now, this whole approach doesn't promise a life that's suddenly perfect and painless. Far from it. It fully accepts that love is messy, that it's complicated, that it can hurt. But the goal isn't to find some perfect, painless fantasy. The goal is to find your balance inside the mess, to navigate it all without pointing fingers.
And so, that's where this whole journey leaves us, right here, with this one simple but massive question to think about. It's really an invitation. Stop the endless search for something you've been told is missing. Turn your attention inward for just a second. What if you stopped trying so hard to find love and you just discovered it was there all along?